What is up, everybody? Welcome into the show. My name is Chase Sr. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. Hope you're all getting set to have a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for daily and year-round coverage of the Niners. All throughout the week, we provided you with some fantastic coverage, insight, and analysis in the lead-up to this Eagles-Niners wildcard game, looking at top matchups to watch, keys to the game, some of the top storylines. And that's going to continue in the lead-up to Sunday. On Sunday, I will be live here on the 49ers Report for another watch party. And of course, whatever happens, I'll hit you with the post-game show as well. So be on the lookout for that. Lots to get into here on the show on this Friday, January 9th, as this week has been full of news and storylines around the Niners, but also the Philadelphia Eagles. Trent Williams today, back on the practice field for the second consecutive day. He is officially questionable for this wild card tilt against Philadelphia, according to head coach Kyle Shanahan. And with him practicing for the second consecutive day, I would imagine that means there's a good chance that he's on the field for this game, or at least he's going to try. If he missed practice yesterday and missed practice today, I would say it's a long shot for Trent Williams to play in this game, but he was out there. And especially yesterday, I thought he looked pretty solid moving around. He was doing some drills and doing some sprints. I thought he looked pretty good, all things being considered there. And if Trent Williams can play in this game for the 49ers, it changes everything for San Francisco. If Trent Williams can't play, I think it's really hard for the Niners to go out there and win this game. And the line continues to go up, by the way. I think the Eagles are now 5.5, 6-point favorites. But with Trent Williams on the field, it just gives the Niners a much better opportunity and chance to pull off the upset on the road. And keep in mind, Eagles have the rest advantage. They are at home. They have, I think, the edge in the trenches. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni are 5-0 in home playoff games at Lincoln Financial Field. And the Eagles are way healthier than the 49ers as well. So if Trent Williams can play in this game, it just changes everything with what the Niners want to do on the offensive side of the football as far as game planning, as far as play calling and execution, play designs with where they go with some of these runs and passes. And you can make the argument that Trent Williams is the MVP of this 49ers offense. I talked about this yesterday, and everybody probably would like to say, Brock Purdy is the MVP of this offense because he's the quarterback, or Christian McCaffrey from an all-purpose standpoint because he's so impactful and special as a ball carrier and as a pass catcher. But these numbers are pretty crazy. I mean, the Niners since 2020, when Trent Williams plays, this includes the playoffs, they are 61-32 as an organization. When Trent Williams does not play, the Niners are 4-13. That is a drastic change right there. And this is pretty crazy. The Niners had the third highest outside zone rate in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan in this running scheme calls a lot of outside zone. That is a patented play of what Kyle Shanahan prefers to do on the offensive side of the football. And for Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel, even though he got fired yesterday by the Miami Dolphins, it's also a staple in their playbooks as well, because that's what these play callers in the Shanahan scheme can really lean on. And of note here, the Eagles give up about 5 yards per carry on outside zone. Well, last week, when Trent Williams did not play against the Seattle Seahawks, the offense didn't have a single rush at or outside of the tackles. That tells you everything you need to know. Kyle Shanahan had no confidence calling any runs to the outside without Trent Williams there. Trent Williams is on the field. It changes what Kyle Shanahan's going to do with the way that he calls the game. Week 8 was the last time that the Niners had single-digit outside zone attempts. Now, I do think that when the running game has gotten going this year, Kyle Shanahan has called a lot of inside zone and a lot of power, just getting north and south behind an offensive line that sometimes can struggle on some of those outside zones. But again, it's a staple of this Niners offense. And so Trent Williams practicing in back-to-back days, massive, massive news for San Francisco here. And again, he's officially questionable for this game. These other players are also questionable. Defensive lineman Keon White did not practice the first 2 practices of the week, but he was on the practice field today dealing with a groin injury. That's important for the Niners. They are so thin along the defensive line, and Keon White can serve a couple of different purposes. He can play defensive end. He could play defensive tackle. Unfortunately for the Niners, I'd be shocked if Ricky Pearsall plays in this game. And I know a lot of people are tired and sick of talking about Ricky Pearsall injury woes and how he's never on the field consistently. I get it. He's been an injury-prone player since the Niners took him in the first round 2 drafts ago, dealing with the re-aggravation of the PCL in addition to an ankle injury. He did not practice today. Yesterday, he was doing some sprints. I would say this is not good. You know, the PCL helps to stabilize the knee. It helps you accelerate and decelerate and make cuts as a wide receiver. And if the Niners don't have Ricky Pearsall, it hurts their passing game tremendously, because there's really not anybody who can threaten the defense down the field. Maybe we see Jordan Watkins in his 4.3 speed. Maybe Jacob Cowing ends up playing just so that the Niners can pose a threat to this Eagles defense, but we'll certainly see. Kyle Shanahan usually doesn't play wide receivers unless he has full trust in them, and Jordan Watkins hasn't done anything all year, has barely played, and Jacob Cowing has not played all year long. D. Winters questionable for this game with an ankle injury. The Niners are so banged up at the linebacker position. Who knows who they're going to start in this game against the Eagles? Luke Gifford, quad, another linebacker who's banged up. He's questionable. Yetur Gross-Matos, of course, he's hurt. Defensive lineman, he can play defensive end and defensive tackle, dealing with that knee injury. Cornerback Renardo Green, he's been up and down as far as active and not active this season, hurt and not hurt. He was added to the injury report with a foot injury that he suffered at practice today. So now he's questionable. And then, of course, Trent Williams as well. What else I want to get to here on the show, just some more keys to the game. I think our coverage this week has tried to attack this game from every single angle. And third down success rate, efficiency on money downs, third down, fourth down, and in the red zone for that matter, and capitalizing in the red area, going to be huge keys between the Eagles and the 49ers. How about these numbers here? So the 49ers offense, number 1 third down conversion rate in the NFL. No team in the NFL is better at moving the chains on third downs. The Eagles defense, 21st on third downs. The Eagles offense, 24th in third down conversion rate. The Niners defense, 19th. What is going to give there? And who's going to win that battle? Is it going to be the Eagles offense? Is it going to be the Niners defense? When the Niners offense is on the field facing third downs, will the Eagles defense be able to get off the field and get stops? Or will the Niners be able to keep those drives going? You do that, you can suck the air out of the stadium and turn the Philadelphia fans against their team. Furthermore, the Eagles offense in the red zone, number 1 red zone touchdown scoring percentage in the NFL. This Niners defense, for the most part, it's awful. Stopping the run, stopping the pass, getting after the quarterback. They're not good. They might have the worst defensive line in the NFL. Again, you lose Michael Williams and Nick Bosa, that's going to happen. You don't make moves at the NFL trade deadline, it's going to happen, right? Well, this Niners defense, to their credit, and this is just great coaching by Robert Saleh, number 12 red zone defense in the NFL. So if the Niners defense gives up a bunch of yards, but they force field goals instead of giving up touchdowns, that's how you can keep this game close and potentially pull off the upset. If the Eagles get inside the red zone and they end up scoring a bunch of touchdowns, it's going to be hard for the Niners to pull off the upset here. The Niners offense, number 5 red zone touchdown scoring percentage. The Eagles defense in the red area is also good at number 9. And then there's this. Per Next Gen Stats, that's the ESPN database, Brock Purdy completed 72.6% of his passes on in-breaking routes this season, 6th best in the NFL. And he threw in-breaking routes at the 2nd highest rate, 39.8%, behind only Mac Jones. So in-breaking routes are a big staple of Kyle Shanahan's offense here. The Eagles allowed a 51.9% completion rate on in-breaking routes, the lowest mark in 10 years. you have to think that maybe Kyle Shanahan's going to try to switch it up, because that is a big strength of this Eagles defense. And the Eagles defense, they are the number one scoring defense in the NFL since week 8. And they've only given up 14.5 points per game since then. And heading into the playoffs, they are the third best scoring defense behind the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks, who held the Niners to 3 points on Saturday and under 200 yards of total offense. Well, Brock Purdy, in his career against top 3 scoring defenses, he beat the Cowboys in 2023. But after that, all losses. Against the Browns on the road in 2023, lost. Against the Ravens at home, Christmas night 2023, lost. Against the Chiefs in 2023 at home, lost. Against the Vikings in 2024 last year, lost. Against the Seahawks in week 18, also lost. Brock Purdy, prior to that Seahawks game, was playing better than any quarterback in the National Football League. He was white hot. He was playing unbelievable football. He was elevating Kyle Shanahan's scheme. In this game, has to play better than he did, of course, against Seattle. He's going to have to be the reason that the Niners win this game. He's going to have a superb, phenomenal, fantastic performance, because this Eagles defense is extremely well coached. They're very deep. They're sound at all 3 levels, and they have a bunch of talent on that side of the ball. All right. Hope you all have a great rest of your Friday here on this January 9th. Coverage to come tomorrow and Sunday, and then we'll do that watch party on Sunday afternoon. Niners-Eagles rivalry renewed, another installment of it. Can't wait for it. And thanks for watching this show. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, give me a follow on all of my social media platforms at Chase_Senior, X, Instagram, and TikTok.